Yeah, so at this point, we were living in a small house just outside town. It was about a month before the baby was due. This time my car wasn't doing too well, and Norma told me I should probably take it into the shop, but we didn't have the money for it, you know. Business was falling off a bit, and I was just feeling a little upset about it all. One day, me and Norma, we get into a fight, and I go to the bar. When I get back, she's just standing in the kitchen washing her hair in the sink. She didn't even say anything to me when I came in, just kept washing her hair. I was about to say that I was sorry when all of a sudden she screamed out. I asked her what was wrong, and before she could say anything, she turned to me and she screamed out again, and a splash of blood fell underneath her and hit the linoleum like paint. I ran over to her, and she sort of just fell into my arms, and I didn't know what to do, so I laid her down and I wrapped her up in a blanket, and I went outside to start the car, but the engine wouldn't turn over. From inside the house, I hear her screaming, so I run back inside, and there were two little legs coming out of her. Two little legs, and they are moving and kicking, and there's blood everywhere. I run over to her, I pick her up, and I carried her to the hospital. I carried her to the hospital those 2 miles. For a while, the legs kept moving, but by the time we got there, they had stopped. Doctors said that she was lucky to be alive. Said it was the worst birth that he had ever seen. The next day, they brought the dead little thing in the room so Norma could hold on to it. All day long, she wouldn't stop talking to it, wouldn't stop holding on to it. She called him Herman. Now, when we eventually got it away from her, she would not stop screaming at me. They gave it to me in a plastic bag so we could, take it home and bury it. It was just so small. And later that day, when I was alone, I held it. I held it too. I tried to make things like they were before. Tried to make her move on from it, but I just think somewhere along the way, she just, stopped loving me.